Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a fascinating and honestly incredibly frustrating mystery in the world of nutrition. We're going to look at why the ultimate super supplement you might be taking right this second is likely, well, just passing right through you. And more importantly, we'll see how modern science is finally focusing on improving quercetin bioavailability to fix that exact problem.
So, quercetin. It's this powerful, naturally occurring molecule found in everyday things like onions, apples, and tea. It's globally renowned for its potent antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and even cardioprotective properties. But there's a massive, often ignored catch when it comes to our biology. You could consume all the raw quercetin you want, but your body is practically designed to just reject it.
Yeah, you heard that correctly. Less than 1%. Raw, unformulated quercetin has a dismal oral bioavailability of less than 1% in humans. Literally, you could swallow a standard capsule, and your body will just eliminate over 99% of it before it can do any good whatsoever. It's an astonishingly low number for something with so much promise, right?
To understand this, we've got a clear plan for today. First, the Great Quercetin Paradox. Second, the Biological Obstacle Course. Third, nanotech and lipid armor. Fourth, structural engineering and EMIQs. And finally, unlocking quercetin's potential.
All right, let's jump straight into Section 1. The Great Quercetin Paradox. Amazing benefits, zero absorption.
The research spells out the core issue really clearly. Quercetin exhibits strong antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and anti-cancer properties. But its clinical use remains heavily restricted. Despite all that massive potential, unformulated quercetin is essentially useless on its own. It's basically a molecule trapped by its own physical properties, constantly teasing us with these incredible benefits that we just can't easily access.
Moving on to Section 2, the Biological Obstacle Course. Why quercetin fails the digestive gauntlet.
So, our molecular hero here faces some massive physiological barriers. First off, it's highly lipophilic, meaning it binds easily to fats, but it has incredibly poor water solubility. We're talking about dissolving just 1 to 2 micrograms per milliliter. It's literally like trying to dissolve sand in a glass of water. Plus, it suffers from rapid oxidative degradation when exposed to changes in pH. And hey, even if it does somehow manage to get absorbed, it has a tiny biological half-life of just 1 to 2 hours, meaning your body flushes it out almost immediately.
It enters this grueling biological gauntlet. Step 1, it hits the stomach, where it faces premature degradation by harsh gastric acids. Step 2, it reaches the intestines, where that poor solubility prevents it from penetrating the mucosal barrier. And to make matters worse, intestinal efflux pumps, like P-glycoprotein, actively grab the molecule and just throw it right back out into the gut. Step 3, whatever tiny fraction actually manages to sneak through to the liver is rapidly cleared out.
So the really crucial point here is this concept of extensive first-pass metabolism. This is basically the rapid breakdown of a substance by the liver and intestinal enzymes before it even reaches systemic circulation. Your body views raw quercetin almost like a foreign invader, deploying enzymes to aggressively convert it into inactive, highly water-soluble metabolites just so they can be peed out. Before the quercetin can reach your bloodstream to lower inflammation or fight free radicals, it's already been neutralized. This is the ultimate roadblock to improving quercetin bioavailability. Okay, let's get into Section 3, nanotech and lipid armor, sneaking past the body's defenses.
Remember, with unformulated quercetin, you've got low solubility, rapid breakdown, and a sub-2% absorption rate. But science has found that by wrapping the compound in lipid nanocarriers, using tech known as lipomicelle or phytosomes, we can create a literal Trojan horse. These systems use phospholipids, like sunflower lecithin, to encapsulate the quercetin. And because our own cell membranes are also made of lipids, the intestines happily absorb these microscopic lipid droplets. It completely bypasses that hostile gastrointestinal environment and those active efflux pumps we just talked about.
When put to the test in human clinical trials, these lipomicelle formulations achieved absolutely staggering results. At a 500 milligram dose, that lipid armor drove a 7-fold increase in blood concentration compared to standard quercetin. And when they pushed the dose up to 1,000 milligrams, they observed an incredible 15-fold higher absorption. We've essentially hacked the body's lipid absorption pathways to just smuggle the active ingredient straight into the bloodstream.
Let's move on to Section 4, Structural Engineering and EMIQ, Rewiring the Molecule for Success.
Enter EMIQ, which stands for Enzymatically Modified Isoquercitrin.
Now, this isn't just a protective bubble. This is a fundamental structural modification. Scientists actually use special enzymes to attach a chain of alpha-glucose residues directly to the quercetin molecule itself. By doing this, they transform it from a hydrophobic, undissolvable brick into a completely water-soluble supermolecule. It fundamentally changes how it interacts with our biology.
And honestly, this enzymatic modification is pure genius. Because it's now completely water-soluble, it easily mixes right into your intestinal fluids. Then, and this is the cool part, cellular enzymes residing right on the border of your intestinal cells cleave off that glucose chain at the exact moment of absorption. This delivers a massive localized dose of active quercetin straight into the cell. The result of all this? A 17-fold bioavailability increase in human trials compared to the standard unformulated stuff.
And even beyond IMIC, scientists are looking at the very crystalline structure of quercetin. See, standard quercetin packs together super tightly, creating a high crystal lattice energy that just stubbornly resists dissolving. But by co-crystallizing it with specific, safe compounds like pentoxyphylline, scientists can actually force the crystal structure to loosen up. This disrupted lattice energy creates a state of transient supersaturation in the gut. Basically, it forces an abnormally high amount of the nutrient to dissolve all at once, which has driven up absorption by over 60 times in animal models. 60 times!
Which brings us to Section 5. Unlocking quercetin's potential, the ultimate nutraceutical scorecard.
Looking at the current biotech landscape, the methods for improving quercetin bioavailability are honestly incredible. By utilizing lipid armor, like lipomicelle giving a 15 times boost, or phytosome complexes achieving up to a 20 times boost, alongside structural engineering like EMIQ at 17 times, we have well and truly hacked human bioavailability. We've taken a molecule that was literally locked away by its own physical properties and turned it into a highly absorbable, systemic powerhouse.
So, with the great quercetin paradox finally solved by modern science, it really makes you wonder, right? If we can re-engineer molecules and use nanocarriers to outsmart our own digestive gauntlet to improve bioavailability, what other human limits are we about to shatter next? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and as always, stay curious.